What is going on, Colts Nation? He is Jamal, and I'm Eric, your co-host of the Colts Cast. The Indianapolis Colts take down the New England Patriots on the road, 25-24. A crazy game. I would have to say I didn't believe in us for most of the game. There's a lot to talk about here. A lot of good things happen, a lot of bad things happen. Where are we starting today, Jamal?
Oh, let's start, man. Let's go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Y'all know the drill. Go ahead and hit that button. Let us know how you feel about the game. Drop a comment below telling us your thoughts on it. If you're excited that we got the dub, if you would like to see something a little better. I just want to start off by saying, usually we like to go straight to the positive stuff and all that good jazz. Hey, we back on fire Gus Bradley season now. It's crazy to me. Yeah, it's crazy. We back on Gus. I've seen so many people all over X today. Gus Bradley got to go. Gus Bradley got. It's the same thing Gus Bradley been doing. Even doing this thing all season long. But
why he not working at Wendy's yet, bro? Like,
it's funny. I always get a chuckle out of it because it's like I said weeks ago. Whenever the going's going, everybody's fine. We're good. But then as soon as it gets out of whack, it's just like, oh, we gotta get rid of this piece, get rid of that piece. It's been the same style. But I just wanted to start off with that because I thought it was funny seeing all that.
I mean, the Colts defense was question mark, exclamation mark today. It was something else, I will say. But, we got to start with the big man, big man himself, Anthony Richardson. 12 for 24, 50% completion rate, 109 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, took 0 sacks. Very low passer rating, though, today. I would have to say, Jamal, I think Richardson today was better as a runner than he was a passer. It just, and he didn't get a lot of help, I will say. Actually, I want to talk about that. Jamal, what? It's like, so Richardson, like, he made some beautiful passes today. They weren't all beautiful. I think we got, the full Anthony Richardson experiment today. It was, it wasn't perfect. He missed some throws. Yes, he did. There were drop passes, though. There were a good bit of drop passes.
Yeah.
He made a good bit of plays. He led a game-winning drive. He did a lot of things right. And a lot of things, it's just growing pains right now. But the big one I want to talk about, man, the drops by our pass catching group. Kylan Granson, make the fucking catch, man. Like, you don't get that opportunity a lot. Like, that catch is gonna, you ain't getting another those are, you got to catch those, man, or we ain't gonna remember you in a year or two. They ain't gonna remember it when the pen's put to that contract. Adonai Mitchell, I'm like 90% out on him. I don't know what to do with him.
You're gonna be back on him next week when he get 3 catches.
When's the last time I've been on it? I mean, he had a chance to make a huge play.
Nah, he did.
3rd and 2, AR tosses him a perfect ball.
Yep.
Couldn't reel it in. Some people were saying it was good coverage. It went right through his hands. It did. I don't get it. So, box score haters will look at Richardson's stats and say he didn't really have a great game. 9 carries for 48 yards. Couldn't get it done through the air, but add in those AD Mitchell catches, add in those Kylan Granson catches. I don't know.
BJ have a couple too, I think.
He might have had a drop or two. I remember one possible catch that he could have had where it wasn't like a drop in the bucket, but right. You're making $24 million. You need to make that catch type of play. No, you're right, Jamal. Bring them all in. Like, we have a young quarterback. He needs all the help he can get, and he's building that confidence, week in, week out. And I think this is perfect for him and this team going into the bye. We got the win. Playoff hunt is still alive. A lot of good, but I get him some weapons, man.
Yeah, I mean that's been the story of the day. Obviously, Josh Downs not being there, it just truly shows how much of a difference he makes in this offense. He can catch the if it's within his catch radius, he's going to come out with it. And I wish I could say the same about all of our other receivers and tight ends on the field right now, but clearly that's not the case. Richardson looked like he was fighting for his life on a lot of those, and I'm not going to sit here and say that every ball he threw out was perfect because there were quite a few I saw that were sailed or that were just like way off to the left or the right or short or whatever the case is. But the ones that were there that should have been called, I mean, you couldn't really do much better than where he put the ball. So I think it's a two-way street. Of course, I definitely want to give credit where it's due for him getting the ball to where it needs to be, but also have to recognize that some of those off balls, they weren't intentional off balls. They weren't intentional, throwaways. They were just completely off. But with that being said, again, like you said, 24 million a year you're getting. I expect you to come out with everything. I don't want to see this weak screen game that we've been doing, year over year over year with
It's
MPG.
working though. We had a wide receiver screen to Michael Pittman today, and it worked.
Yeah, it worked for 5 receptions for 42 yards. $24 million a year. You better not be doing that every week, but that's what it's been all season for us. And I know people are going to say he's injured this, he's injured that, or whatever the case. Then he
Yep.
should have been on IR. He
Pierce
shouldn't
is
be playing.
injured. Uh, Pittman is still battling that back issue. Josh
Man,
Downs shoulder issue. I mean, Ashton Doolin's out. Like our only healthy receiver is the guy who can't seem to do anything.
I mean, listen again, and I don't know. At some point, like again, if we got players who are this injured, who if you're gonna, I don't know. I consider and say if you're not gonna play, then you shouldn't be in the game. But I'm sure I'll get a lot of hate from that, so I'm not even gonna go down that rabbit hole right now. But if you truly been having back issues and all this other stuff going on for weeks, and you shouldn't be in the game, we don't need you to sit there. We're paying you all this money. I don't need to pay you to just be lackluster. You're not even creating a decoy at this point because you're not a threat right now. So I'd rather you not be in the game. That's just my personal opinion. People aren't going to agree with that, and that's fine. But that's just my personal opinion. But our tight end room, I mean, I think that's the biggest elephant in the room, especially having 86 tight ends on a 53-man roster, and we still can't find one to do their job. It's crazy. I think Will Mallory had a nice catch. Mo had 2 catches for 15 yards. And I say a nice catch as in like he actually, Will Mallory actually went out for the ball to go grab it. It was a very short catch, but he actually went out to go catch the ball. It's getting frustrating. It's been frustrating all year long watching our tight end room that has, again, 86 people in it. No one can show up to play every single week. It truly doesn't make sense. I think that's going to be a sore spot in our team for the foreseeable future at this point, because what are we going to do? Just add another one and then hope that
Could have
something
had
works
Brock
out?
Bowers. No, we couldn't have.
Nah, they weren't. Yeah, they weren't even going to trade down for him. But it would have been nice. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Clearly, the team saw something that we didn't, which is why they kept every single tight end. But clearly, it doesn't matter that we have all these tight ends because none of them are really giving us any production. So, shout out to the tight end group who's not showing up every week. But shout out to JT today. 25 carries, 96 yards. I mean, I know that's only averaging 3.8. He was trying to get the ball. Looks like we obviously were run heavy today. It was nice to see him actually get some opportunities, but again, it's hard when we had the backup line in there, and I think Richardson did a good job of like evading pressure with the backup line. I know I'm kind of bouncing around, but I saw about Richardson did a good job of bouncing around with the backup line. I think JT did what he could with the backup lineman in there.
I thought
But
the offensive line played pretty well.
they did, yeah, for what we had, and absolutely, I'll take
We
that all day.
we picked up what's the Mark Lewinsky that
Yeah, wait to see him back out there.
yeah, my man
Danny
was on the
P was at
couch and he
center.
said,
Yeah.
yeah, and he can't. Yep. Uh, don't. Uh, yeah, Dalton Tucker was benched.
Mm-hmm.
Bordellini's still out. Danny Pinner was in there. Matt Gonzalez got what I think he played right tackle. Yeah, he
Yeah,
played right tackle. So very new offensive line.
absolutely.
Lot of different pairings out there, but I would say for the most part, especially the run game, I felt like we were strong in the run blocking department.
Mhm.
Um, I Tony Sproul Jr. He's gotten these guys going at the right time. I'm I was satisfied with the offensive line play today.
Yeah, they look good. I like Tony. He's a good coach. He's been doing it since before he walked in the building. But from day one, he walked in the building. He kind of got this group back to a cohesive group and has shown that it trickles down from any player that's out there. Of course, obviously, it's hard to try to get everybody on the same page. Maybe you have to plug in so many new players, but I think that they did a good job on week 2 of having to plug in new players and kind of working as a cohesive group. So shout out to Sperano and the O lineman.
Yeah, I think Ryman coming back is also huge.
Yeah.
And he's missed quite a few games, but he's been a phenomenal left tackle for us. Yeah, the passing game, I think the rushing game made up for it. But a couple mistakes, Richardson's 2 interceptions,
Hmm.
especially a second one. I thought that's one if you're gonna even try to attempt that throw, you had to put it towards the outside more. And then you got to put some actual hot sauce on it, and we know Richardson can do that. He
Yeah.
definitely can laser throw easily, but that one it was in the air way too long, and Christian
Hmm.
Gonzalez was able to undercut it. Um, but I would say the offense wasn't the issue today, right?
Yeah. It wasn't.
I, I like I'm pretty content, when all things are said and done, when we lead a game winning drive that was 19 plays, lasted over 5 minutes. Then we go for a 2-point conversion and we get it. Like, I'm happy with our offense.
Hmm.
What I'm not happy with, and most of Colts Nation would probably agree, is our defensive play. You can't let Drake Maye. I mean, this is one of the worst offenses statistically coming into this week, and they looked pretty elite today for what it's worth.
Sounds about every team that plays against us. But
Yeah, I mean, he
a
completed
recurring thing.
80% of his passes. They converted 54.5% percent of their third downs. They totaled over 400 yards of offense. Gus Bradley's days, are they actually numbered, or are we going to retain him?
No, y'all stop talking about that. Yeah, I want to talk about it when they let up 400 yards. So we're not talking about when he let up 450 yards. Like, no, it's,
It.
my man's still here.
I was hoping that this defense could, elevate this game. It didn't really happen. Ramondre was getting it done on the ground.
Hmm.
Gibson had some big runs. Drake Maye was getting it done on the ground.
Hmm.
He's a great runner too, but you know, I will say, we sacked him 4 times. I mean, that's
Yeah,
something.
that is.
So Zaire Franklin was in on that. Zaire Franklin had a decent game. I will say they were targeting the middle of the field a lot. The linebacker kind of
Hmm.
zone area. So Franklin, EJ Speed, they were getting picked on a few, but they made some plays. I don't know. What do you think, Jamal?
I mean, yeah, the defense was, yeah, they did make some plays when they needed to. Again, Nick Cross, I don't want to see him at the top of the tackle list besides Zaire, but I mean, week after week, I'm seeing him do his thing. He can get out there. He can kind of be all over the field. Oh, sorry. But same with EJ Speed. EJ Speed did a pretty good job today. I saw him moving around the field a lot, and I always like to see these guys as they can slowly but surely move around. But we just have so many soft spots in the zone. I mean, it's crazy. The soft spots they get exploited every single time. And I mean, at some point, like if you got a quarterback that can move like that, you got a spot. You don't need to have like a full game spy. That's be somebody like just readily available. I mean, when our defensive linemen can get back there, they do a great job. I mean, we see D Buck has been grinding, this past all season long that he's been in there, obviously less his injuries, but this past like 4 or 5 weeks, he's just been a monster. But whenever these guys don't get a chance to get back there, then we get in trouble. Then we get in trouble if the play has to be extended. And I don't know what it is about this play being extended, but there was one Drake Maye run where no one on the defense even knew he was running the ball. No one. I think Jalen Jones
I,
tried to turn around and catch him, and he couldn't even get him. I'm just like, how does no one realize that this man has taken off?
was it the
So
one for his like 20, 30 yard gain?
Yeah, I think it was like 41 yards on that one or something.
Oh, yeah, okay, it was
Yeah,
huge. I do remember that, so I think Bradley was playing some man coverage there, so everybody was, scooping up on the
locked in.
receiver,
Yeah, yeah.
and they were locked in, and then, yeah, he just took off when he saw that gap open,
Mhm.
and May's got some legs.
Yeah, he does.
I don't think people realize that, but he's a really good runner, and he showed us, and yeah, I don't know what it is. I will say the Colts are not a great tackling unit.
Mhm.
I know we have some players in the top 5, top 10 in the NFL in tackling, but those are only a few players. I don't know. We talk about playing hero ball on on offense, for players, but like hero tackling, we got to talk about that. Like y'all just y'all making these lunging tackles and completely whiffing and stuff like that. I don't know, man.
That
It's
Dallas flower lunge.
yeah, I mean that's a perfect example, and he got cut that week. So it's just I don't know. Coaching scheme, talent. We could have a whole episode about that, but I
Yeah,
will
for
say
sure.
this defense is inconsistent. I mean, just like our offense. We talked about it last episode.
Yeah.
I mean, our
Yeah.
defense show up last game, kinda. I mean, we
Kind
kept
of,
the
yeah.
Lions to 24 points, but we let the Patriots score 24 on us. I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It's very inconsistent. We all want Bradley gone, but really, if you fire him right now, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, nothing comes out of it from getting rid of him right now. I mean, that's the reality. Nothing comes out of getting rid of anybody at this point. Obviously, we all know that. I mean, we can always talk about the people who need to go, and obviously what should happen at the end of the season. But we all know nothing comes out of getting rid of anybody right now. It's a shock factor for you. But I
Yeah,
just think that our personnel is, I mean, is lacking. Like you said, I think the coaching staff is lacking. I think there's just so many pieces around the building that are lacking. I just feel like, as I've said before, that a lot of I don't know. I can't get excited over a win against a 3-9 team. Like it's just that I'm not getting hyped up over it. Like I love the fact that AR got a chance to get a game winning drive. I love the fact that
yeah.
Stike went for the 2 point conversion
Shane
because
Steichen,
I
shout
was
out to him.
nervous. Yeah, I was like, let's just take this thing into overtime. I'll be the first person to tell you that. I'm like, because if we get this L, then it's big trouble. But again, like I said, it's hard to be like super hyped over a win against 3-9 team because that means nothing. This means nothing in the grand scheme of our path to success. And obviously, that path to success is not this year. It's going to be in the future years that we've still been waiting on. But I don't know. It's good to see some of these guys, have good games, but it's not exciting to see when it's like this. So I just think that at this point, we got to just roll with the punches and take what we can get and understand that with our personnel that we have, as I said before, I feel like a lot of our like organization is more of, hey, we're here, we're in the league, we're having a good time, and that's all that matters. Like it's not a winning culture. Obviously, we know that. I don't know, man. It's hard to not like just bitch about it because I don't want to bitch about it when we got a W, but I just think that there are a lot of things that are not right within the org and I'm not even sitting here talking about you know who. Like I'm not even talking about just that person in general. I'm just saying within the organization, I just feel like it's not a winning culture anywhere. So the W's against a whack team, yeah, it's fun, but it's like I don't know. Like I just think that we're at a point where I don't really want to see players get like super hyped up over a dub over the garbage Patriots. Like we got hype over a dub over the garbage Jets. Like I want to see harder play against teams like against the Lions, against the Texans. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I don't know, man.
Well, you're not gonna be able to see that because we have one of the easiest remaining schedules
Oh,
left.
I'm well aware.
So, we head into a bye week, much
Yeah.
needed. Hopefully we can carry that momentum, get our players healed up,
Yeah.
and then we see the Broncos, which they're
Thursday night.
actually pretty hot. Is
Yeah. I
it Thursday night?
believe it's a Thursday night game. Yeah.
I got it December 15th on a
Is that
Sunday.
not Thursday? Oh, shit. I'm tripping. Sorry. I thought it was a Thursday night game.
Do we have a Thursday night game for that?
No, no, you're probably right. I may have had it mixed up.
Yeah, we ain't gonna get no Thursday night,
You're
no
right because the game's
prime
like
time.
4:05, right? It was at
Yeah,
4:05, I think. Yeah,
it's a four
that's right.
o'clock
That's
game.
right. Yeah, yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, my fault. I just
So
thought about that.
and then we see the Tennessee Titans, who just got blasted by the Washington Commanders today. The New York Giants, who do not have, I,
Anybody?
Yeah, I pray they start Drew Lock, boy. If we trying to make the playoffs, they need to start Drew Lock. And then we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who just, well, I think Trevor Lawrence will be fine, but he took a gnarly hit today.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Late hit, got concussed. If you guys didn't see, but I will say our schedule is very favorable, and I know we love being mediocre, and I could see it. Yeah, Jamal, I could.
We're gonna
see us winning out 10-7, baby.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of people be happy because we go above 500. That's what I'm getting at. They're gonna be stoked. They're not gonna care about the fact that we won against teams who probably like Brownsburg High School could beat. But
Jesus Christ.
No, they just want to say championships. I'm gonna give them a little shout out. But no, for real though, we're probably gonna win out. Yeah, you're right. We're probably gonna win out. Maybe not against the Broncos. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge. But yeah, it's hard to be excited about that when I know that those games aren't meaningful. Those games aren't meaningful.
Oh, they will be if we make the playoffs. Look,
shut up. Who we go to the playoffs? Who are we gonna play? Who are we gonna play? Are we gonna play against the Chiefs or the Bills and get mollywopped in the first round? Like, bruh, no, come on.
What I don't want to happen is we end up 10-7 and don't make the playoff.
Sure. I guess, yeah.
Look, if we make the playoff, like at this point, if we make the playoffs, let's say because the Broncos right now have, I think, yeah, they have the third wildcard spot, so they're the 7th seed. So beating them next week is an absolute must. Even beating them might not lock us in, but if we want to potentially take a spot off, we have to beat the Broncos, because I think outside of that, like, I mean, are we going to take a spot from the Ravens or Texans? Probably not. I don't think we can take anything from the Texans because we're 0-2 head to head. And then the Ravens, they're most likely, I mean, they only have 5 losses. Did they lose tonight?
Yeah, they lost.
Oh, okay. Maybe so. Maybe we'll be able to squeak in. But look, if we really want to get in, got to beat Denver. So then, okay, fine, Jamal. If we beat Denver, then I'm going to start getting hyped, because we play down to our competition. But Jamal, I will say sometimes we do play up. I mean, let some of those balls in that Lions game get caught. That score is completely different if we had some actual pass catchers that game. That's all I'm going to say.
I agree to an extent with that. I think that
we're about to make some noise, baby.
I think that if those balls had been caught and we had scored more points than the powers that be would have ramped it up a little bit, and they'd have had to do what they had to do. I mean, I do think that we can play up to a lot of competition, but we have to be playing some complimentary football plus playing up to the competition. If we're just playing up to the competition on one side of the ball, I think it's a lost cause for us. Not to be the negative Nancy, but I just think that's the reality. If the Colts aren't playing complimentary football plus playing up to the competition, it's kind of a lost cause.
Well, NFL.com playoff picture is giving us a current 31% chance to make the playoffs. Of course, that will probably move up to closer to that 50% if we can beat the Denver Broncos after our week 14 bye. So I don't know. It's just Jamal is setting up for a squeeze into the playoffs, get that mediocre draft pick, but get Anthony Richardson some playoff experience. That's what it's shaping up to be.
I mean, yeah, I guess. But to me, I guess to me, like, my thought is this. What is a playoff game experience? What does that truly mean when it's one game? It's one extra game. Don't get me wrong. One extra game. But how does that, like, amplify it? How does it – what is that one extra game? Because we put playoff in front of it. What is that experience going to do?
It's that chance that, we might be the 9-7 Giants, the New York Giants, who somehow win the Super Bowl. There's always that chance, Jamal, any given Sunday. You know how it is.
All right. On that note, I don't have anything else to say. But
you're telling me Colts football wouldn't it be nice in January?
I agree. It would be nice in January. I've already signed up for my plane for playoff tickets. So hopefully, yeah. But
we'll stomp the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. I mean, we'll be on the road the whole whole playoff track, but it'll be fun, man.
I love
Debbie Downer right here,
No,
baby.
truth teller. Truth teller. I told you I always have to be the voice of reason for y'all sometimes because y'all just be talking silly sometimes. So I got to be the voice of reason, and that's fine. I'll be the bad guy. I don't mind it. It never bugs me.
Look, 30% chance. We got a shot, man. We got a shot. Could see the Lions again in the Super Bowl, baby. Maybe that's what Amara told Josh Downs. I'll see you in the Super Bowl. He said, yeah. Oh man, all right. Let me stop talking.
Yeah.
Let me get out of here. I'm just messing around at this point.
That's all for me, man. Shoot.
That's gonna be it for us, Colts Nation. Thank you for listening to the Colts Cast. We are live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any platform you use to listen to podcasts. And we'll be back next time to give you some more Indianapolis Colts content. Y'all take care.
Take it easy.